All right, here's what we're working on. So we got the crown up. Yay! Just a couple little things to tune that up. I've got to fill holes and stuff. But crown's up. Now what I'm trying to do is get rid of the rest of this trim that's got to go on the cabinets. So there's a bottom piece that goes on the cabinets. And it creates kind of like a base. But what we're really after by putting that on there is this actually holds in it a panel that will go up in here. There's a piece of this trim that goes on the back as well. And then that hides the gap up there in the wires, because in the panel we'll route a channel for a flexible light strip that goes in it. So these pieces go on first. That's what I'm concentrating on, these perimeters. And so I've got the one laid out here for this bank of cabinets. And so that gets cut out and gets rabbited. And how I did that is I have these stands, and I can set these stands up under the corners, and it's like a pump jack. You can push this and it raises it up. So I'm able to come in here and put one in the corners and then hold these things in place underneath the cabinets while I trim and fit and trim and fit and trim and fit. So where I'm at now is I've got to take these pieces and join them together, because I want them to go up as one piece so I can control on a workbench the joints to get them just right. But because it's going to go up in one piece, I'm going to want to reinforce the joints. So I will send you a video soon of how that's done. But got that one to do, and just that one. And I've already got the perimeter made for that. And then I'll send you a video later of the panels and the lights and all that. All right, so here we go. We've got from the right side of the cabinet working towards the left side of the cabinet, the first three pieces out here. And what I've done is I've very carefully gotten the joints lined up perfectly and then made a line. It's kind of arbitrary, but made a line that references that so that I know, that they're gonna line up when I cut my tenon into it. And I've done the same thing here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add these. These are called dominoes, but it's effectively a way to put a mortise and tenon joint into something very quickly. And what I need to do is kind of figure out where in the joint that should go. I mean, we obviously don't want it way out here, and we don't really want it way back here. So we got to find a spot where it kind of lines up good, and that's how I came up with where that line goes. Now these things come in all different sizes. There's a little bit bigger one. There's a much bigger one, but they come quite a bit larger than this, in fact. And the purpose for this is to be able to make tabletops and stuff out of that lumber that I've got milled up from the oak trees and the maple trees out back. So this is the tool. It looks kind of weird, but this plate will sit on top of the piece I'm cutting, and then there's a cutter head that comes out right there. So that little cutter head is changeable based on the size of, it's not a biscuit, but they call them dominoes, based on this size. So I've got all different cutter heads for different size materials. And what it does is, while it's cutting, it doesn't just go in like a drill or a router bit. I'll get a video of it for you, but the crazy thing goes back and forth. So it makes a hole just like that. And you can kind of select between a hole exactly this size, or there's a lever here where you can change the setting to a hole that's oversized, so you can slide the pieces back together and then move them around a little bit if you wanted to. But there's all these different adjustments for depth and height, and it's just kind of cool. So what I'll do is I'll get the pieces in here and I'll lock them down, and then I'll set up a camera so you can watch it cut. So I just want this thing to overhang the table. And then I really just want to keep it from moving around. I don't know if this is going to be enough. All right, there we go. So you line it up right through this little window up here. And I can see that little gold mark. There's also a little line on the machine. And I just lay it flat. So I'm putting a little tension here and getting it squared up with the piece. But if you watch back here, you'll be able to see it turning and doing this crazy little zigzag thing. Make sure we're dead in the middle of that mark, which we are. Here we go. That's all there is to that. So then you're left with a hole. And these little tenoning things fit right in them. And they're cut, the depth is set on there. I can overcut them if I need to make them a little sloppy in there. But I have them cut pretty much net. So then these two pieces now go together and reference each other. And because this cutter is sitting on this plane of this piece, that makes these things, these holes, exactly the same depth from the top, so that when I put them together, it makes the top flat. So when I go to glue them, it can't slide around. It's gonna be in the right spot. And then once that glue sets, it ain't coming apart. So all I have to do is I've got these over here ready to go. Just got to work my way around the piece, marking them out, and then cutting them. So just a few more to go.